John Wick Chapter 4 is the fourth John Wick film, but is it the best in the franchise? John Wick uncovers a path to defeating the High Table. Before he can earn his freedom, Wick must face off against a new enemy with powerful alliances across the globe, forces that turn old friends into foes. I love the John Wick franchise for so many different reasons. I love how simple it is. You have the world's greatest hitman of all time, and someone kills his dog and he wants revenge, and anyone can relate to that. And then also the world and the lore building around that. Obviously, Keanu Reeves is amazing in this role. But the main reason people come to see these movies is because of the real jaw-dropping action. These sequences throughout the franchise have been mind-blowing. They feel real. They feel like real action movies. And I am happy to say John Wick 4 feels like the most epic out of all of them. Where it comes to storytelling, the world, the action, the performances, it feels like everything is top-notch in John Wick Chapter 4. And everyone will want to hear about the action in this film, but the first thing I have to say is this is probably the most beautiful film with a headshot count of over 500. I mean, I'm not kidding. This might be the best looking action film I have ever seen. The cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. It's mind-blowing. Everything looks beautiful. The direction here is top-notch. I doubt this film will get some sort of cinematography nomination from the Academy, but it 100% deserves it. I was mesmerized by a lot of the shots in this film. There are a lot of shots where the director and the filmmakers take their time and sit on a shot because they know the shot just looks so beautiful and colorful and everything. The lighting, like, I can't get over how great the film just looked. It really was the most beautiful action film I think I've ever seen from that standpoint. And now we can talk about the action, because the action here did not disappoint. There are sequences in here that are hands down the best in the franchise. There are sequences here that remind me of some of my favorite sequences in the previous installments, but there are a few in here that absolutely stand out. I won't give away too much because you want to go in the film surprised like I was, but there were just some that just surprised me because it seems like they've done everything at this point, whether it's like a car chase or just hand-to-hand combat, anything like that. But they find new ways in this franchise to just keep everything fresh and fun. And I think my favorite sequence in the film is where John Wick is going room to room with a new weapon, and the camera's like on top. It's like a bird's eye view. I think that's the technical term, I guess. And it was fucking awesome. It might have been my favorite sequence in the whole franchise. And we're on the fourth installment, and they keep thinking of new ideas and just nail it with the execution, because the action here, just like the other movies, everything looks real. The stunt work is absolutely mind-blowing, and that is the reason why people love to see films like this and Mission Impossible and Top Gun. The more real it is, the better it is. But sometimes the sequences are so fun and absurd that you can't help yourself but just start laughing. Not because it's bad, but because of how fucking crazy it is. There's so many instances. There's one that reminded me in a sequence from Hot Rod. And I won't say anything, but once you see the movie and you think of that comparison, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. But my theater was fucking rolling at that scene. Keanu Reeves is just fucking amazing here. I love his delivery for his lines. It's perfect for this film. But all the action sequences where he's actually firing these guns and fighting these people hand to hand, he does it himself. It makes everything, like I said just before, real, and it makes it so much more fun. But I need to mention another amazing performance in this film, and it's Donnie Yen. He is so badass in this film. If you thought he was badass in Rogue One, I think this character that he plays in John Wick would beat the shit out of the character that he played in Rogue One, and that guy was force sensitive, so it just says a lot. But seriously, Donnie Yen was amazing here. There are so many amazing sequences with him, but there's more additions to this universe, some weird, wacky characters, and those are a lot of fun too. It makes everything feel more fresh. I mean, if I had to pinpoint some gripes in this film, I would say it's a little too long. It's like 3 hours long. I think there are parts that could have been shortened a little bit. I know I just gushed about the cinematography and it's still amazing. And there are so many shots and sequences where the director takes his time to show off that cinematography, and other times to just make the tension feel more real, and all that is perfect. But there are other parts where I feel like they could have trimmed it a little bit. Like, this movie didn't have to be 3 hours long. But I will say it doesn't feel its runtime. I would say it feels probably around 2.5 hours. But, like I just said, there are some things I think they could have probably trimmed off. And there's one character that I feel like has a good arc by the end of the movie. But there are a lot of times throughout the film I'm like, what is he really trying to do here? And it can get a little annoying just because of motivations. But overall, I thought the character was cool. And like I said, there is a full circle sort of moment by the end of the film that I thought was really cool. So having him in there, it was cool to have that moment. But there are just some times his motivations could get a little jumbled. But overall, John Wick Chapter 4 should be applauded with all the effort and care that was put into this film to make everything just look amazing with the cinematography, the sequences. Like, everything just feels epic in scale and real, and that's the type of thing you want to see in these films. And it's just amazing that this film feels so fresh, even though it's the 4th film in a franchise. But I gotta say, this probably is my favorite film in the franchise, and you need to go see John Wick Chapter 4 right now. I'm gonna give John Wick Chapter 4 9 Davey Daves. At this point, just keep making more John Wicks. It seems like there's no letting up. It seems like they always have really great new ideas for each of these films, and they're a lot of fun. And like I said, the plot isn't anything too complicated or anything like that, and that's what makes the film a lot more fun. It's easy to follow, and it still is like a fun and interesting plot. So if they want to make John Wick 5, bring it on. But John Wick Chapter 4, let me know what you guys thought of it once you've seen it. I'm curious to hear, and thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.